Billy boop boop. Huh. We got nothing. Of my big black boots. Sorry, got tunes on. BBB. You know, how to destroy angels. I can't hear my headphones. Usually have to shut the software down and restart it. I'm gonna hit, nah. See what happens when we do this part here. Ready? Oh, I'll be back in a second. All right, so I got this working. See if anybody starts arriving. Refresh your slides. What? Windows. So here I am. I got a cat that's visiting me. Let's see if we can share some links on socials. Yeah, cat hair all over my face. Oh, is that your painting? Very nice. I can see that. What do you think? I can see that with your reds. He's just pausing for a moment to acknowledge. Oh boy. Now my microphone's moved again. He did that to me one time and I forgot to put the microphone back down and said it's very directional. People can barely hear what I'm saying right now. And generally, Dave said he couldn't even hear my music. You're showing everybody your butt. All right, let's bring that back down. Maniac cat. All right, let's go back to sharing some socials. Yeah, pity. I don't want to see your butt. It was rude. Do 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 do. All right, I'm. No, don't. Not sculpting tools everywhere. With the happy tail. All right, thanks, buddy. Thanks. Ding ding, dong ding dong ding. All right. I was only gonna do this for like an hour. Try to get this mouth worked out on head there. This one. And I ended it yesterday. I had ripped the mouth off yet again, which I think that was the fourth time. Boy, what are you doing? I'm gonna kick you off of my lap in a second, buddy. Ding ding. Bing. Ugh. Oh, he left of his own accord. And I'm back up. No idea if I could be seen when I was leaning that far back. Do 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 do. Hello, current viewer. Hey, James. I'm gonna do. Hold on. I'm gonna do some sculpting in a moment. Now that the cat's off of my lap. What did I spend? Spent like 5 minutes with the cat in my lap. I just noticed it really didn't say how long ago you said good evening, James, and I just got the cat off my lap, so I have no idea how long ago you said hello or good evening. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna move that up a little bit. Turn that a little. Turn that a little. Go back down a little. So, oh, and it looks like I kind of moved this thing a little bit. Oh, I know. Yesterday I realized that I pointed that way, and that's the left. Sometime or another, I flipped my picture.
I'm going to fix that before we continue. What is that? That's a flip. Flip vertical? That'd be vertical. Flip horizontal. No. Stupid Steve. Let's do that again. And let's right click, transform, and vertical again. Bing! Oh, there. So now I'm looking that way. If I point that way, it's the left. If I point that way, it's the right. There. Boy, that stress is gone. So now if I go, hey, look at the Ko-Fi link right there. All right. Went to see Captain America, Brave New World. Wasn't that bad. Half bad? What did I just say? Wasn't half bad? I am looking forward to the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts. That one looks like it's going to be fun flick. Holden hair. All right, so yeah, yesterday I think I built and destroyed at least 2 mouths on live, which I think would make it a total of 4. Can't get this hair that's right here out of there. Oh, it's long hair. So I am going to do version 5.0 now and see if that makes me happy. Then I think I might tweak the cheeks one final time. And, oh, goodbye, James. Thanks for stopping, though. Although maybe it's not, maybe it's wrong and you're still there. Then we're going to go around and tweak the textures on this and see what other things we might want to do a final change to. I did notice this eyelet over here is a little shallower than the other side, so we're going to take a little material and tap it in place here. I did finally start the mold I talked about yesterday. The mold for the dragon that's sleeping on top of this dragon. He got side A made yesterday. I don't have enough material to do side B. So he was there annoyingly for a little while. That's Holden is the kitty cat that comes to visit me. We have 3. The other 2 live in existence in the second floor of the house. My studio here is in the basement of the house. All right, I'm kind of happy with the thickness we got there now on the eyelids. Again, I'm doing stuff on this sculpt with the mindset that this is going to be a silicone. So I want these eyelids here. Oh, I never took that stupid thing off my screen. I am here shortly. I'm shortly here already. Sorry, nobody can see. Bing, nope. Bing, bing. There. Sorry. Obstacle. Making these eyelids a little fatter. It's so that the silicone is going to be a little thicker there. So when I pop the eyes into place, it's going to hold a little better. Same with the lower lid. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just got rid of it before I saw your message. So with my delay, it should already be gone. Like you have magic powers that as soon as you said it, it disappeared. I really have cat fur all over my face from his headbutts. All right. I am gonna warm up some clay in my fingertips. Here's the last set of lips I cut off. I didn't like it, so they got cut off. And then I just drew that line. Try and use, just trying to use it to base where I'm going to place the material for the lips. I'm still not really thrilled with the cheeks on this guy. Comparing to the cheeks on this guy. I'm back here. I don't want to unscrew the head, but I do have a bigger brow on that one. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe that's also what's bugging me. Maybe I'm not happy with the brow. Oop. And part of the pinky in the brain are I have pinky in the brain dangling in front of me. Let's see if I move this camera up. Whoop. So they're dinky, they're pinky in the brain. Those things are 30, yeah, about 30 years old, probably. Oop, what did I just do? I fiddled with something. All right, let's get to business with these lips, and then I can figure out what I want to do with the cheeks. I do have them kind of balanced now, at least, but I'm still not thrilled with the layout. And then maybe I will do a little extra material on this brow and imitate that brow on the guy back here. All right. Yesterday I was on way longer than I thought I was going to be. So my plan for 8:30 today, we'll see how that works. Maybe I'll get all this done. All right, so I'm just rolling out material, flatten it to kind of create the lip the way I do. They need to be bigger, twice the size. Hey, James, if you hear this, are you a subscriber already on my channel? Is that how you saw I was live, or did it kind of randomly pop up in a feed for you? Or a Facebook follower, or a Blue Sky follower, or I don't know where else I posted it. I think it's really just Facebook and Blue Sky. All right, so now these two balls are about the same size. We're gonna try and roll out that material again. I usually, to get my lips, make a ball, and then I roll out, feather it out on one side, I feather it out on the other side. And then when I got that, I flatten one side of it. So I keep the curvature on the other side. That's what we got now. I just do with the ball. I'm going to add a little extra to this one for the lower lip. And I'm going to move Pinky out of the way. Let's move him over here. There. Ah. Yeah, yesterday I was working on this. Actually, I started it by doing working on the mold form around the dragon. So I don't know if that would be interesting to you or not, but taking the clay and creating the divide to make a two-part mold. And then I ended up pouring it last night and then removing the clay today. And then I looked and it doesn't look like I have enough silicone to pour that mold. So I didn't want to not have enough material to finish the mold. So I will order material tomorrow and I'll have it Tuesday and we'll let it get to room temperature and we'll pour it a side B on Wednesday. And what else? What else did I do yesterday? At the very beginning I inserted eyes into the little devils. These little guys. Take a walk. Do 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 do. So I got two castings of my little devil get caught in a devil trap. And I used something called gallery glass on the bottom. And there's a little devil stuck in a devil's trap. So I inserted his eyes, I think, at the beginning of the show yesterday. This is... And then I did a yellow gallery glass on this one. This looks kind of cool. And there's the other little devil. Little devil. A little devil stuck in a devil trap. I'm going to get 4 more of those done, I think. I don't remember what my first show is, but I think we're going to look to have 6 of them with me at Dragon Con. Being cat friendly is difficult at times. Alright, so here is lower lip. Let's see what I... I don't know, does all my cat hair show up on this? Yeah, see? It's actually probably mostly dog hair. Alright, so problem I'm gonna get here is that my lower lip is a little fatter, which can be okay. I think actually if I look at this guy, well, then you might find it interesting if you're interested in mold making. I can actually go get the mold. Let me merge this material and then I'll take a 15-foot walk. Yeah, I'm not hating what I got here with this mouth this time. Maybe I was just in a mood yesterday and nothing was making me happy. I think I did it twice on the video. Cut it off twice. Kept reworking it a couple times. But yeah, it's not horrible. I do think I'm going to add a tiny bit of material up on the upper lip before I do that. Let's... Oh, knee pain. So my 9 to 5 is as the IT manager at a foam fabricator, make packaging and that kind of thing. So the material I kind of use to make my walls for molds is scrap plastic corrugated. Ugh. Like this is a piece of corrugated plastic, and it's just a scrap piece from work. If I see something on one of our tables, I'll grab it if it's a thin strip. So this is the top of the section I poured yesterday. This is what it looks like after I took all the clay out. Which, if you watch the video from yesterday, you'll see me putting all the clay around this part. And then afterwards, I inserted this wall and I touched up the edges of the clay in. So now it also looks a little glossy because there's a wax coat over top of it from release agent. So when I pour the next side of silicone, it doesn't bond with the silicone here and it doesn't stick to this guy. It really won't stick to this guy, but the silicone would bond to itself. So yeah. Then afterwards, I have a little alcohol, a little spray bottle that's mixed with water and alcohol because it doesn't need to be pure alcohol. And I'll spray it over the hot glue, and it'll creep inside underneath the hot glue, and you can kind of pop the hot glue off, so I can reuse my walls. And I still don't like to waste material, so if I can reuse something once or twice, I'll reuse it. Ugh. All right. So I think I am gonna imitate the eye I have on this guy, where it's kind of sticking up here a little bit. So I think I'm gonna do that to this guy. Then we're gonna see what we can do about the cheeks and the upper lip. I really would like to finish this model today so I can possibly do a mold. Get the mold started this week. Get the mold done this week. Could even theoretically do a first casting. All the materials I have are pretty quick cure, so. All right. Well, I'm gonna roll out a couple balls of clay and try and size think my buddy Dave was telling me I should do. I think it was Dave. Who else? Somebody on one of my channels was asking me about doing more mold making videos, which is, if I was just doing it on my phone, it would be okay. But since I got a camera, and a camera, pouring molds and doing molds in this room is not really conducive to good mold making or anything. All right, so that's kind of what I'm looking to do. Not really just that, but I want to add a little bit of material here. We'll see. Yeah, I think it might work. I was looking at the YouTube studio, I think, yesterday morning. It might have been some other time, and it was showing me how many people I have following, which was more than I thought. I think there's like 35 folks that are subscribed. That's what it's on YouTube, is subscription. It said I need 500 in order to monetize, I guess, the group or the page or the channel. There, that's it, the channel. So I'll have to figure out how to do that. All right, so we're gonna roll that out, flatten it a little bit, flatten that a little bit, and now I'm gonna kind of add some material here. Now, this is pretty soft. Generally, when you're doing like a polymer clay model, it's really easy to put your clay here and then just take a finger and push it up. This Monster Clay Firm is not as easy to do that kind of thing with. Let's get these over here and get my paint palettes out of the way. There, where to put my paint palettes, because now I'm going to look for them 2 days and not find them. But this Firm, I mean, like me just not doing anything with it for a couple of minutes is going to have it start to get back to room temperature and harden up. Like I can't squeeze that between my fingers. But I have a lot of soft here somewhere. Here. I think this is soft, and you can see I can just squish it between my fingers. So if this was sculpted in soft, it would be really easy to push around just with fingers. And I have a whole tub of soft, but I kind of prefer hard. You can soften it and use it, but anyway, that's just me. Monster Clay folks asked one time what your preferred. I was like, I have two, soft and hard. I don't really use the medium. I did accidentally make medium one time when I had a big model I made, and I accidentally put, I think I actually accidentally put soft into a crock pot that I had with melted hard. So I mixed those two together and created a medium grade. All right, so I'm going to add this material in here, and I'm going to try and push it around. And create a slightly different eyebrow. And we'll see how I feel about having that eyebrow. I'm going to go turn my heater down. toasty in the basement. Back quick. With your comment, James, about the wood turning, Jen, for Christmas got me a book from a gentleman that has art space in the Summit Art Space in Akron that does wood carving. And Jen had a show in that space, and I was in his studio. And she went to go see what I was looking at, and then she bought his book for me. But he does birds. Probably does other stuff too, but I'm going to go with most of his stuff is birds. And it's very cool. I just don't know if I have it in me to carve wood. Carve a bird out of a block would be cool. So I want to try it without hurting myself. I'm putting a tool through my hand. All right, actually I am kind of digging that little change. Can you see how, like if I take this off, boop, see the difference between the brow? I kind of dig that tweak I'm doing. Put that clay air. And then since this is still kind of soft, I can use my thumb and I can kind of push it around a little bit. Yeah. All right. I'm glad I didn't try and push through yesterday and get the model done yesterday. It was really aggravating me, so if you caught the end, you might have saw me. I don't really curse a whole hell of a lot publicly. But I think my residual migraine was still affecting me yesterday, and I was ready to let loose. I think that was when I knew I had to stop working. Save my cursing for offline. Somebody at work heard me go off, and they were like, I didn't know you swore. Does that mean they thought less of me all of a sudden? All right. I'm not hating that little change to the brow. Should have flung that up so nobody heard that, as where it wasn't as loud. Whoa, that was close. Just checking on socials again and seeing if I can. Pretty sure social media can now tell when you're sharing a link to other social media and they kind of block it. So that not many followers see it. All right. Yeah, I'm usually pretty good at my filter. That's probably why that person was like, "You swear?" Yes, a well-placed F-bomb is is something. It's good. It's good. I mean, if it's properly used. All right. So I am feathering these ends out a little bit more on this face. I think tonight I'm gonna hope to get this face in a state of bliss for myself. Hopefully I'm gonna be happy with where we're at. And then I'm going to put some mineral spirits over it. And that'll flatten some textures and stuff like that. It's just something for like monster clay or sulfur-free type clays like this. All right. All right, now I'm going to stare at this again with the facial structure because I have big eyes. Normally your eyes wouldn't be this big. So the cheeks don't really come down from like here, kind of how they do on a normal humanoid face. So my cheeks are really just right here. So that's partially what's doing a little weirdness. But oh, well, thank you for the Facebook share. Thanks for doing that. Since I don't have a consistent time when I do these, I do think doing them early is not necessarily on a weekend. Like at 11 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday or Sunday is probably not as great as doing something in the evening hours. I don't know. And I think the weekdays I sometimes seem to see a little more. All right, so I am still gonna stare at these cheeks for a moment or two and warm up some of this clay in my fingers. So, you know, if this guy was made out of soft, it'd be really easy to push the texture in here. Some of my bark molds, and then re-sculpt some of the bark molds. But he's made out of Sculpting Hard, or I mean, Monster Clay Hard.
Um, so I gotta use a heat gun on him and warm up the clay. All right, let's see here. Sorry. Did it again. Back in the day when I was in radio, we had a cough button. All right, let's see here. I think I want to. My pointer finger. I think right here. Normally, it would be kind of the same level as the cheek. Actually, maybe even a little higher. And you'd have a little punchy down as this kind of faded away. I really don't have that going on this face. So, I might do that right now and see if I like it. And that might fix what I'm not liking with my cheeks. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, I'm going to take this material and shove it up right up there. Hmm. Hmm. Actually, that little tweak also might have made me happy. I don't know if I have the huge drive to profit from it. Looking at your comment, James. I kind of started sculpting again. I used to sculpt. I mean, I'm 54. I did this back before polymer clay was available in hobby shops. Um, my folks would buy me like a wax-based clay. I think even back then, you sometimes you couldn't even find colors. Uh, you just had these weird pieces of clay that were just like what uh, gray and green, but and then I quit sculpting for a while, and then started sculpting again in my probably early to mid 20s. Then it went away again. And then in my 40s, when my father got cancer, I needed to distract myself. And so I started sculpting again. Oh, that'd be cool. I've done that kind of thing for family and friends. Made them, that's the only time I'll do something that's a copyright. If I'm giving it as a gift. All right. do like the cheek on this side a little better now. This side's not making me thrilled. But sculpting is a really also hard thing to find the right market. Doing shows, like I used to do a couple of local shows here in Cleveland. I did Origins Game Fair for about 8 years. I have not done it the last 2. I'm hoping to go back next year. And I got into Dragon Con. This will be my 4th year at Dragon Con. And so I still also have a couple of smaller shows I do that are local. But it by no means could I pay bills and put dog food in the dog bowls with it right now. Sure, Uncle, do you know if your uncle's ever tried the 3D modeling software? I know a lot of, when the pandemic happened, I have a couple of sculptor friends that got into the 3D modeling. It just did not bring joy to me. I tried it years ago, and then when the pandemic hit, I tried it again. It still didn't do anything for me. So I gave it up again. I just need the tactile, I guess. This tactile. All right. Huh. So let's see here. We need to take some clay away from here because I like that cheek a little better. Do, 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 do. Trying to decide if I should also puff this cheek up even more. Looking at it sideways. This looks really caved in on this model. When I do that. Huh. That could also be what's bugging me about the cheeks. Where's the ball tool? Let's do this dip here. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna add clay here and here. Might be screwing things up again. So they really should be, yeah, even here. To me, it should be, I don't know. I don't know. All right, we're gonna see if we're screwing this up. I'm gonna add clay here and here. This Annabelle here. All right. It's all these tiny little tweaks, and roughing out a face for me can happen real quick. Then it's getting to this point. Actually, this face has been one of the bigger pains, one of the bigger banes of my existence recently. I don't know why. All right, I do find myself a little happier with that fatness there. I just realized this guy is starting to look like a Star Wars character of some sort. Can't think of his name now. Yeah, well, what are you gonna do? All right. Still real filial like. All right, I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna bring up a photo of a profile on my screen. Face profile. Because it's driving me a little cuckoo. P-R-O. Bing, bong, boom. And let's add the word male, shall we? Let's use this gentleman's face. Should make that bigger. Do, 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 do. Even though this guy, this monster, this goblin, this gnome character I'm making, he's not 100% human, but I guess it's all right. This lip's a little wonky, but and I do like the filler I put in here. I might actually add a little more of that. I was getting, God, what is it, Hatch? Is that his name from, I think he might have flew the Falcon with Harrison Ford at one point. Don't remember what movie. It was one of the first three. Huh. Is scraping a little bit more of a jawline for the guy. That works. All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna tiny bit more on that side. That was something I made for a vendor friend one time. Was I made a house of a Dobby, but he was I used to make these creatures that would sit in shirt pockets, and basically kind of made a version of that. It was just a head and a pair of hands on armature wire. It was a gift. Actually, wait, that was a trait. She did some chainmail for me. I have a bugbear chieftain head, trophy head plaque that I made, like a life size, and I wanted a real chainmail, a chainmail coif, and they made that for me. All right. I mean, still a little weird for me here. I might. I added that, and now that seems off. Do need to do a little ball of clay. A little ball of clay. Up to the side of the nostril here. All right. I'm not displeased with that. I'm going to try and add a little more to the upper lip. See if I upset myself by doing it. Because I think this is how I got PO'd at myself yesterday. Ugh. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. All right, so I've been rolling this in my fingers, warming it up. We're gonna see what happens here. Let's see. Ready? Set. Place. Oh. I actually don't mind that. I think I'm gonna add a little material under the nose also after we get this smoothed out here. So I'm going to add a little material here, just under the nose, to get rid of make the thingy bit dippy, a little shallower. So the lips don't look like they're sticking out as far. You know. Yep, I am self-taught. I just saw your comment, James. I have no idea what kind of time delay is from when I see a message to when you'll get my reply. Could be 5 to 10 seconds. And yes, I kind of just started when I was a little kid, uh, making characters from Dragon Magazine, taking my brother's Dragon Mags, and redoing characters from that in clay, and making my own. I used to make cats and dogs. I never went to school for it. Which I, in the, what was it, early 90s? Yeah. There's a company in Cleveland called Nicholson Toy Soldiers, run by Nick DiVincenza. And I kind of apprenticed with him for probably about 3 years or so. He made classic toy soldiers, and he also did a newer, more detailed, realistic toy soldier figure. And he did all his own sculpting, his casting. He had spin caster, did all that himself. Which I think back then he was pretty well known for his work. He did not modern, but World War II paratroopers, but a friend of a friend knew him, and I think I had sculpted some dogs for Dungeons and Dragons. One of my characters had a couple of dogs, so I sculpted them. So Scott kind of hooked me up with Joseph, with Nick, and I learned a lot from Nick. He also had a line about how it's good to be self-taught. I don't know what drove him nuts about kids that came from the Cleveland Institute of Art, but evidently they would drive him nuts. So, and then back then I just bought all sorts of books on anatomy, on animals, man, fabrics. You didn't have the internet this was early 90s. I think the internet might have been in its early infancy, but you by no means could Google something and had a plethora of concept images at your fingertips. So I had a whole bunch of books that I would buy on facial, portraits, and just all sorts of reference material to have at your fingertips. And the anatomy and muscle and structure and all that kind of stuff was important to know, so that when you're making a pose and doing a sculpture, you're not making somebody's arm bend in some abnormal direction, making it look really weird. My brother Mark did go to art school. He went to Kent State, and he was a really great illustrator. And when we were kids, he's 4 years older than I am. We were kids and played Dungeons and Dragons, or before Marvel had its own game. There was Villains and Vigilantes, superhero game. He drew everybody's characters, and he was usually the GM, so he also had all the drawings of his supervillains, and he did not sculpt. I can't draw worth a hoot. Also, the time now that I would probably spend drawing, I'd rather spend sculpting. And I can do a poorly drawn, rough out sketch of something, but Mark was really, really good. And then my other brother, Mark's fraternal twin, John did not have any kind of artistic drawing or sculpting, but he was a draftsman. He could design industrial stuff and do that kind of stuff, which is its own kind of creativity. So, and our sister was just smart. Darn honors student. All right, I'm kind of happy with the tweaks I've made to this face today. Trying to decide what other little changes I need to do. Took a tiny bit of clay off right there. Ugh. All right. All right. I think I'm gonna. I kind of like the squarer. Like this guy's face looks fatter because if you look at the way I have his jawline, it's down here and it's going up. It's a fatter jaw. Hey. Oop. The magnets on the bottom of that mug keep on clicking on stuff. So part of me wants to do that, but I don't know if I'm going to screw up if I do that. Even this guy, you look at his jaw. It's a much squarer jaw. Whereas this feller, his jaw's a little pointier. That could be also something that's messing with my head. What time do we got? 9:40? 20 minutes. That's what we're going to do. 20 more minutes. I think I am going to do the square jaw. Because I think the square jaw is going to make the character more of what I'm looking for. I think a pointy jaw makes him look more elven, fey-like. I mean, although in my brain the little gnome guy here is still related to the fey. But so I am going to roll on a couple of pieces of material. I think adding that there. You gave it a pointy jaw vote. It's too late. We'll see if you're right though. All right, we're gonna see what chaos I create by doing this. I could have just left it that way and let the sleeping dogs lie, but and then if I had not done this, I would already be on to the next step. And actually, I don't know. You can tell me what you think, James, when I show this to the camera. I kind of do like the square jaw a little better than the pointy. I think I do. I think I do. I think. Of course, no real comparison now, but here, let's get this cleared up here. I don't know. One more tweak. We're gonna add a little bit of a piece of material on his chin. All right. Kind of just pushed his nose over a little bit too, make it look a little brokenish. I don't know. I do think I could technically, if I wanted to, I might still be happy with adding more on the jawline. I think I might. I think I might call it. Actually, that little bump I made him also foobarred my idea. So I'm flattening it down a little bit. It started to add a point back to it. I don't know if you could tell as I smush it back and forth here. Get rid of it. All right, that's not horrible. Let's see here. We're going to add some lines across forehead. I'll do some lines that are on the back. I'm going to use this tool to add some textures. It's just like a little rake almost. Kind of do this. This is usually done for skin textures on things. I did a lot of textures over top of this already, but I got to redo it. Some kind of, this little hash will help out. This is also kind of used to level areas out too sometimes. All right, let's find the piece of plastic. Hey, they're all missing. Oh, here's one. So that piece of plastic is going to be used to make wrinkles. Yeah, I have a problem sometimes with letting things rest. Other times I'm bing bang boom, bang bang boom. Had this sitting here. I think I made him about a month ago. I put him in my dunk tank. I spray painted him copper. I think this pendant was originally a black pendant. He's glued in place on here. Maybe I'll give him away to try and promote getting people over here to YouTube over on the Facebook. Maybe. Silly little goblin face. All right, so this piece of plastic, this pointy tool. Let's see if I can do a demo on this chunk of clay here. Let's smooth this out. A little bit bigger area. So, if I use this, let's put him back here. If I use this on this clay here and I draw that line, you see, you can see it's raised areas. It's raised clay on either side of that line because the clay is getting pushed by the tool, and as it's getting pushed, it's creating that sharp edge. This going about the same depth. Does not do that. I am so very glad I saw somebody using this and doing this method. That's why watching people do things is rather helpful, because you can pick up new ideas, people's concepts. So it's very, very cool. So I'm going to use this on here because I want to make some wrinkles on his forehead and wrinkles on his nose. Some lines, I should say. Wrinkles, lines. So I'm going to just run that way and run that. Go that way. There. I'm going to put a couple of creases in his nose too. Do the same thing on the back of his head. I'm going to kind of just take this tool and let's do a couple little lines there. So, not sure if you can see his little lines I did there. Do the same thing like around the ear here, kind of around the ear there. There. Little ear line there. I really did texture jibba-jibbas out of this head. Yes, when I saw the person doing it, when I saw the person using this plastic method, I was like, I have to try that. Kind of shenan. You know when they show video clips on Facebook or Instagram or whatever of people trying something and you know that it's a full of crap video? I was like, that can't be right. Is it that? Is it really that effective? It is. It's pretty cool. All right. I'm gonna try and finalize my eyelids here. Finalize this eyelid. All this to do a test experiment figure. So, let's get this bat out of here. So I got this sandpaper thing that I also use to add textures. It works good on dolls about this side to try and do skin pores. The grit on this one, on this roll. And the last couple of dolls I've done, I've used this roll and kind of just used it as a base, like a foundation roll for adding like a base texture on things. I do also have one of these that I kind of cut. Cut a chunk off of. so that I can get into little spaces like under the lip here, bottom of the nose. I'm going to use these new texture rolls I have also from, damn it, is it Abby Cadabra? I think that's her name, Abby Cadabra. These things. That's not the tool I want though. Tool of hers. Let's see here. I've been using this ball tool from, I think I got this from these guys, YK Studio. That's where these old texture balls are from. These texture, whatever these would be called, texture roller things. I have quite liked as well. I think it's Abby Cadabra. Abby Cadabra. One of these is like a really cool skin texture. I think the only problem I might have with these is with polymer clay. If I get polymer clay stuck in these, I don't know if the 3D print resin would be good with having polymer clay stuck on it, because sometimes, depending on the plastic, polymer clay can have issues with some plastics. So so far I've only been using these and my rollers with monster clay. But other thing, you use something like this, is that you got to keep your method of rolling consistent. So like I'm doing this front to back. If I do this side to side, that roll is not going to match this one. All right. This texture will look pretty cool when the silicone pour is done. Ugh. Oop, 9 o'clock. I got close. I'm sure I'll do a live next week. I do want to get this guy done. He's going to be 2-part mold also, but so I do. This guy's been sitting here half finished for months and months now. I redid the sculpt probably about 4 or 5 weeks ago, And before that, he was sitting here for a good couple of months, probably. Oh, yeah, probably. The more I think about it, might be since September, October, November, December, January. I guess. Yeah, 4 or 5 months he's been sitting around. I roughed it out and then I picked him up about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and I redid the arm structure, redid the jaw here, prep in the ears, and chopped off the tail because I'm going to do the tail as a piece of armature wire. It's going to be, but it's just going to be straight. It's not going to have branches like this. It's going to be covered in fabric also, so it looks like grass. And I'll probably do a little bit of grass running up the spine a little bit about here. But anyway, I got to finish this bark texture so I can finish it. All right, so I'm going to do this ball in a couple of random spots. It's because I like the weird little pattern this one does. And I need a pointy tool. It's pointy. I think this is the one I filed. Not a razor blade sharp, but it's pretty sharp. And we're going to do lines, like you have lines on your lip. I'm going to do some of those on the lips here. And I could do my plastic method. Not my plastic method, but the plastic method. It's another one of those things that I picked up a number of years ago that I'm sure, I don't know if it was that guy's brilliant idea or what, but kudos to him for it. Oops. Yeah, dee dum dee dum dee dum. So thanks, James. Thanks for sticking around and giving me a watch. I'll be back. I do have, I think the next thing, one of the things I was going to do live is this silicone guy, which I don't know if you were here when I was showing him a couple of lives ago. He was an experiment. I'm going to do these wings in foam clay, which what I've been doing. And I put armature wire in there. And then anyway, I'm going to make one of these in foam clay. And I think I want to make a couple of them to take to shows with me. Probably should increase the price, but this was a failed experiment for a silicone thing. But so I'll probably do that in one of my coming up lives after I get this guy done and in the mold. But anyway, all right. Thanks, James. I think I am going to wrap it up, and we'll give him one more final walkthrough before I call it quits on him. And then I'll be able to hopefully get this dude in a mold this coming week. And we'll see. We will
we will see how my experiment goes. If this face actually works for what I want to do. And then if I'm happy with the results, I'll probably do a couple of silicone art dolls. And then I know I want to do a second head. do have a couple other heads I've done in monster clay, but for some reason I'm not really thrilled with their look. So I'll probably sculpt another head and try and figure out what I want to do if this works out. All right, that's it. I don't know if you're there, James, but thanks again. I'm going to put my logo back up here and wind down with my... Oh, you can't do that. I got to shrink my logo. Here, hold on. What I was going to do. There. Logo is shrunk. All right. Thanks again. If anybody watches this later, thanks for finding my channel and watching some of these old lives. It's probably not as cool to watch a recorded live, is it? I don't know. But if you do watch any of these or any of my other videos on my channel, I do post some videos of pre-recorded stuff that I edit down. There's a couple of mold ones in there too, but anyway, if any of that finds you a bit interested, thanks. If you would care, I have my Ko-Fi link there. Always accept a little help there. I do have a link for this project. This guy. So, all right, that's it. We're going to go. Have a great rest of your Sunday night, and we'll see you.